Hello friends, Sara Gaston here. Listen, thank you so much for joining me. It's good to see you. Today I would like to talk to you about what to wear and not to wear to an audition. So there are a couple of things I want you to keep in mind. First of all, you want to be the most important thing. You want to be the thing that draws our eye to the image on film, right? So we like to say, stay away from solid white, solid black, solid red, patterns, and logos. And I'll go through why that is. So red is just so intense and so eye-catching, and sometimes it can make the camera do crazy things. White is too reflective, okay? Even when you see white in a film or a television show, it's often been distressed, so it's maybe like more of an eggshell color, let's say, rather than a pure white. And then black, although it's slimming and flattering for most figure types, it actually absorbs all the light, and so we don't see any definition of your body. Now, there are exceptions to that. You know, if you're auditioning for a priest, for example, okay, then it makes sense that you might wear a black shirt or a black turtleneck or something like that to suggest the character, right? There are always exceptions to these rules, but these are just some guidelines to help make you stand out rather than your clothes or accessories. Okay, by the way, mentioning accessories, stay away from like really big flashy earrings or like a really big necklace or something. Again, unless it's something that sort of suggests the character. If you are supposed to be a really gaudy socialite, then it totally makes sense. But you know, if you're auditioning for like a Walmart commercial, you know, and you've got like this big eye-popping piece of jewelry, the casting director may actually ask you to take it off because it's a distraction and the eye follows that rather than paying attention to what you're doing and saying. Now, I understand when you are watching this, we may still be doing virtual auditions, but the same things hold true as for virtual auditions as they do for in-person auditions. The reason you want to stay from patterns and logos, same thing. Sometimes patterns can just be a distraction. Other times they can make the camera do crazy things and it looks sort of like you're having a psychedelic experience on the other end. And a logo or any sort of writing on the t-shirt or shirt or hoodie or whatever you're wearing, again, it just pulls our focus and we want the focus to be you. So here are some things you do want to wear to an audition. First of all, find cuts and colors that are flattering to you and look good on camera. Something may look great when you're, walking down the street, but on camera, it may do something odd to your figure, okay? Years ago, I had this fantastic, I still have it. It's a fantastic sort of khaki colored suit. It's a very, very nice double-breasted suit. But the first time I wore it on camera, I realized that it just takes all definition out of my figure, so I look a little bit like a beige Gumby, okay? Not a problem. I was playing an editor, but it just made me realize, okay, so, depending on the type of character I'm auditioning for, maybe that is not the best choice. Another thing that you want to consider is what is going to sort of enhance your coloring, enhance your eye color, enhance your hair color, and not clash with it or take away from it. If I were to wear, for example, like a really bright sunshine yellow, I mean, first of all, I would look terrible, and second of all, that bright sunshine yellow on my really pale skin would it would just wash me out. It just wouldn't look good. Okay, so think about those things. Take snapshots if you're not sure and compare and contrast. The other thing you do want to do is to suggest the character without sort of pigeonholing yourself. Okay, I want to give you an example. Years and years ago, I was helping out with a casting, and there were several different roles for men and women. And just one of the roles was an astronaut. Okay, so these two women went to a costume store and they rented actual spacesuits, like the orange, what am I trying to say? Like NASA suits are right. Okay, something like that. Actual like astronaut suits, okay? The problem is, A, you can't see these people's figures, so the client has no idea like if they can gauge whether they might be right for something else. And then also, now the casting director and the director and the client and the advertising agency, that's all they can see them as are the astronauts. So if they are not their idea of what an astronaut should look like, they've sort of taken themselves out of all the other categories. I hope this makes sense, right? So if you're playing a mom, okay, dress like a mom. Don't dress like, a hoochie. And if you're, you're playing or auditioning for a prostitute, then by all means, don't dress like a mom. Do dress like a hoochie. I think you get the point. Full-on costume may not be the wisest choice. Again, it just depends, and there are exceptions to every rules, but definitely suggesting the character or suggesting the costume allows the casting director, the ad agency, the director, the client, especially in the commercial world, to sort of envision you as the part. Same thing goes true for film and television. If you can suggest it, then it makes it a lot easier for them to see you in that role. I'm sure you've heard stories about actors or actresses who, got a spray tan or didn't wash their hair or, dyed their hair or did all these sorts of crazy things because maybe the casting director couldn't really see them in that role, but they were bound and determined to convince him or her otherwise. Anyway, I hope that is helpful to you. I always, of course, suggest that if you liked this video, you like it and you share with your friends. I also suggest that you subscribe to my YouTube channel because I share tons of videos just like this with free tips and tricks for the craft and business of acting. And if you want all the goodies, I would suggest you sign up for my email list, which is on my website, www.saragaston.com, because there are things that I include on my email list that I just don't share anywhere else. Anyway, friends, thank you so much for watching, and as always, break a leg out there.